Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new series of Your 4x4. I'm Simon Christie. Now we've landed this morning in Tasmania. We're here at Northwest Off-Road, which is the ideal place for four-wheel drivers to meet and get ready for their trip. We've got 5 days down here. We're hoping to bring you 5 episodes of awesome four-wheeling across the west coast of Tasmania. I hope you enjoy this episode.
Your 4x4 is proudly presented by the all-new Holden Colorado 7, Burma Diesel, ARB 4x4 accessories, Piranha Off-Road products, Kmart 4-wheel drive, Brown Davis Automotive and Lightforce Performance Lighting.
G'day, Dave from Lightforce here, back for my second trip with Your 4x4. One fantastic thing about Tasmania is it's such an easy place to get around. We're heading across the Great Lakes today, which is only about 160 k's. And to see that sort of scenery anywhere else in the country, you're going to have to travel so far.
A lot of great destinations for four-wheel drivers, whether you're just into touring or you want a bit of hardcore stuff. The west coast of Tassie's got some awesome scenery, lots of mountains, beaches, rivers. There's some good spots to stay, camp and lodges to stay in as well.
G'day, Sam Bowden here from ARB, down here in Tassie on my first trip away with the Your 4x4 team. This morning we've got a relatively easy 160 odd kilometres up to the Great Lakes area where we'll have a good look around, hopefully get some good views of Cradle Mountain on the way. And then after that, hopefully we'll get some good four-wheel driving in around the Queenstown area and check out some of the lunar landscapes.
We've just landed here in Devonport, Tasmania, about to embark on our great trip around Tasmania for the next few days.
Hi, my name's Jenny from Kmart 4-wheel drive. We're down here hoping to enjoy some beautiful weather and head our way down the west coast for some great tracks.
G'day, I'm Peter from Northwest Off-Road. We're Tassie's specialist four-wheel drive accessory centre, and we'd like to welcome the crew from Your 4x4 along today for our trip to the west coast. The boys are just cooking up some egg and bacon sandwiches for all the hungry sailors that have travelled over the water last night, so nothing like a good breakfast to kick off a good day's driving.
Hi, I'm Andrew from Burma Diesel, and here we are in beautiful Tasmania. Got a good mix of vehicles here, starting with a trusty old GQ Patrol. We've got the GU Patrol, a couple of Hiluxes, the Prado, and a couple of Land Cruiser 80s. So I'm sure we'll have a really good mixed trip down here with all those sorts of vehicles and find out what they can really get up to.
Alan Johnson from Piranha, who we've been a customer with for nearly 20 years now, contacted me a few weeks ago and said Simon and his crew were keen to do a trip down here, so gave us a list of names and some ideas on what they'd like to do, so we've thrown a bit of a trip together and it should be good fun.
We will be four-wheel driving a little bit, but mostly on the roads just to get a good look at what Tasmania is like.
So it's going to be excellent, hopefully a bit of four-wheel driving later on today after a bit of bitumen driving. Really looking forward to it.
Today's trip will consist of a trip out to Deloraine, up over the Great Lakes for some scenic touring there. We'll head down through Bronte Park to the Lyell Highway, taking a few sites along there down to Queenstown, and then hopefully we can get our way up to Mt Huxley. Nice day today, so we should get some good views from there and work our way down to Strahan.
So this week we're down here in the ARB Red Hilux, decked out pretty well for a travel down in Tassie this week. We've got the deluxe bar on the front, worn winch. This vehicle's actually got twin ARB air lockers, which will be handy down here in the mud. And of course the mud tyres will kick off a nice package.
Brought my personal Hilux along for the second trip. It's got a few extra additions to it this time. We've got a diff lock, a few more side steps and rails, some decent tyres, and just in case we get a bit scared of the dark, I'll whack 4 more lights on the top. So hopefully if we do a bit of night driving, we'll be able to light the way for everyone else.
Next up, it's the Your4x4 email competition.
Well, thanks, Simon. Our entry this week comes from Amber Deed, and Amber writes, "Even though I'm a chick, I love my 4x4 because it gives you the best adrenaline rush, a sense of accomplishment, and always a big smile."
For sending in that email, you've won yourself a Lightforce tack torch and stubby holder. All emails go into the running for an ARB twin motor compressor and a projector folding solar panel. For details on all of our prizes and competitions, check the Your4x4 website.
Holden's toughest 4x4 ever has arrived. Introducing the all-new Holden Colorado 7. It comes with 7 seats as standard and it's loaded with serious off-road grunt. You'll get 3-ton towing and the awesome 470 Newton-metre Duramax diesel engine, plus an impressive wading depth and hill descent control, all for the hardcore adventurer. The all-new Holden Colorado 7 is here. Take it off-road at your Holden dealer today.
Does your diesel smoke, lack power, or have poor fuel economy? Then you need the Burma Diesel treatment. Fine-tuning diesels since 1956, the Burma Diesel technicians are Australia's leading diesel wizards. From a turbo installation to a high-tech dyno tune, when you think diesel, think Burma Diesel. Visit thedieselexperts.com and make an appointment for more power, more torque, and better fuel economy.
The next generation of shock absorbers is here. Leading the way in 4x4 suspension development, Old Man Emu introduces the most advanced and finely tuned shock absorber on the market. Nitro Charger Sport incorporates a new valving system that instantly adapts to all terrain for an outstanding smooth ride and phenomenal control. Backed by a 3-year, 60,000 kilometre warranty, you can trust Nitro Charger Sport, built in Australia for Australian conditions.
So I was teased during the whole Simpson Desert trip by all these hot food gourmet meals coming out. Now I've joined the club, so absolutely fantastic.
We're just a few kilometres now from Derwent Bridge and well on our way to our final destination, some four-wheel driving in Queenstown and then on to Strahan. Now, as four-wheel drivers, we generally travel with a lot more equipment than the average motorist. And to prove the point, just a few kilometres back there on the road, we came across an elderly gentleman with a broken down van. He'd had a blowout. As we pulled up, the jack he had under the vehicle collapsed and he was stuck with a completely flat tyre, his jack stranded under the vehicle, and he would have been waiting quite some time. Luckily we had a high lift jack and some smarts. We got his vehicle up, got his tyre changed and got him back on the road. All right, time to wet the whistle and get back on the road for us. Let's head for some four-wheel driving down around Queenstown.
Now guys, you might ask the question, what is a four-wheel drive program doing driving on all this bitumen? Well, the reason is there is some magnificent scenery out here, and guess what? You don't need to go off the bitumen to see it. It's absolutely brilliant. Now this afternoon we will be going off the bitumen, so don't lose faith. We're still a four-wheel drive show, but we're having some great fun.
Coming down into Queenstown, we went over a long bridge over Lake Burbury, and just a beautiful lake there, again surrounded by massive mountains.
Well Sam, my second trip with your 4x4, your first time to Tassie for me, but it's spectacular. I've never seen anything like it.
It's thoroughly enjoyable so far, isn't it? Yeah, the terrain that we've been over today, we've been through farmland, we've been through rocky outcrops, we've had rainforest almost type scenery, so it really is a bit of everything down here in Tassie. It's fantastic.
We've come to a little place in the middle of Tasmania which is called Queenstown. It's an area which was devastated by the mining industry from 100 years or so ago. We've got hills that look like moonscapes and we've got some scenery that is absolutely spectacular.
We wound our way down sort of through the old open mine, I guess. It's pretty desolate looking hills up the top of town here, down into this beautiful old town. So we'll have a good look around and head on to our next spot later on this evening. Had the aircon on a little bit and it's been squawking all the way, complaining. So we pulled up in Queenstown here. I've gone looking for my tools and Alan's come to the rescue actually. He's just repacked his car and it shows you one thing, putting it to the top is probably where it's most useful.
Just about to head out to start on the Mt Huxley track and wind our way up the hill for a bit of a view down over Lake Burbury. Very rocky outcrop hills and lots of trees, quite dense bush in places and a few open plains, so a bit of everything really.
Kmart has got a Prado 150 decked out for touring and four-wheel driving. We've got ARB bull bar on the front, Kmart product on the back incorporating a rear bar, tow bar, dual wheel carriers, telescopic light and HF aerial bracket. We have also got cargo barriers and other equipment, roof racks and all that sort of stuff, awnings that hopefully make our trip off-road and four-wheel driving a lot more enjoyable.
That'll be a rocky, reasonably steep track to head up Mt Huxley. There's a lookout 2/3 of the way up to the top, which lets you look out over Lake Burbury and surrounding areas. And then there's a steep little pinch to get you right up on top of the hill.
I'm looking forward to the old Nissan. We went through the desert with a sort of an old clutch in it. We've now got the new one in. Give it a good workout today.
excellent track, wasn't it?
Was,
first time we got to engage the diff lock in the truck.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what a difference that made.
Good traction, and the conditions were pretty dry, but pretty steep actually. I think in a wet it would have been a more tricky track.
Would have been interesting. Certainly scenic, and the views were fantastic.
Oh, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, nothing else, anywhere else in Australia that I've seen.
Next up, it's the Ask an Expert segment.
Well, Simon, our question for the experts this week comes from Matthew Winter, who is thinking of installing LPG to his diesel Triton. Matt wants to know if he would be better off with a long-range tank, a DP chip and an exhaust upgrade. Well, Matt, I think we should check with Andrew Limeroth, the diesel expert from Burma Diesel, for the answer.
There's been a lot of talk for quite a while about LP gas in diesels. Quite frankly, we've just got to go back to the basics. Diesels need air, but they really run on fuel. And I just look at LP gas really as just another form of fuel. In fact, another form of fuel that actually burns quite hot. So you should be probably quite cautious when you're thinking about LP gas. You've got to install a tank. You probably need also registration compliance as well. I think the best thing is to probably keep your vehicle standard. If you wanted to performance upgrade your vehicle, instead of looking down that line, think about a chip. That would certainly be your first point. That's the tuning device. So that'll allow you to fine tune your vehicle. If you were looking at further upgrades after that, then you would think about an exhaust system. If you're looking at a fuel tank, that would really be there for long range more than economy or power or whatever. So if you've really got long distances to cover, then you would think certainly about a long range fuel tank. Nowadays there's good ones on the market. They're well over 100 odd litres and it can substantially increase the range of your vehicle. When it comes to a chip, you've got to remember again, you've got a very high technology vehicle and it's cost a lot of money. Don't waste your short dollars on putting on a cheap performing chip. Look for something that's got, for starters, a long warranty, probably a good money back guarantee. The main thing is engine and driveline warranty. I think nowadays with vehicles exceeding $60,000 to $80,000, you really want that peace of mind if you're going to be modifying your vehicle, that you do so backed by a company that's really got good support. And make sure you read the fine print, because a lot of warranties say all sorts of things and there's lots of hearsay. But read that fine print, because again, at the end of the day, when you come to put in a claim, you want to really be dealing with a reputable company when it comes to chipping your engine. One of the other big negatives when considering LP gas is really the availability. Remember, Australia is a very remote place. Currently we're in a very remote place, and if we ran out of LP gas, we certainly wouldn't be able to get the benefit from having it on there. So that's one thing to really consider, particularly across Australia.
For sending in that question, you've won yourself a pair of Piranha diff breathers. All entries go into the major prize for a Brown Davis Automotive long-range fuel tank, a pair of Lightforce 50-watt HID strikers, and an RFI antenna.
"30-second kitchen, a kitchen in 30 seconds. Fridge slide first. Fridge slide's got 130 kilo tracks in it, so it's nice and tough. Remove the R-clip, don't lose it. Drop the pin, leg locker, kitchen out. Lock kitchen down here, retrieve the R-clip, lock on here, R-clip in. Leg here, pull them together, stove, billy. How good's that, guys? Couldn't ask for quicker.
Sometimes the front runners lead from behind. And when it comes to protecting your rear, Kmart are world leaders in rear end protection and tow bar combinations. The just released Prado 150 is no exception, with a bar that is designed to follow the car's lines and work with your sensors and factory camera. For the best in rear end protection, trust Kmart. It's a statement, not just an accessory, but the toughest of 4x4 trips. For more info, go to kmart.com.au.
Warning, beware of imitation lights. Only Lightforce Performance Lighting guarantees Australian made, no leaking or melting, quality output and 3-year warranty. Unlike their imitators, Lightforce lights feature peerless construction, leak-proof seals, impact-proof lenses and filters, vibration and fracture-resistant mounts and housings, and stainless steel fittings, outshining and outlasting their impersonators in every way. Often imitated, never replicated. Visit lightforce.com for the full range of authentic Lightforce lights.
Got a tough 4x4 tourer and enjoy hitting the tracks? Odds are you'll need some serious underguard protection and a heavy-duty long-range tank. Brown Davis Automotive offer aluminised steel underguard protection plates and long-range tanks for most popular makes and models. They're designed and developed right here in Australia and have been tested to the extreme right across this great country. Remember Brown Davis Automotive. It's a trusted and family-owned Aussie business and proud manufacturers of high-end tanks, underguards and more.
We've had a beautiful scenic windy trip all the way through to Queenstown, which of course had some fun awaiting. That fun of course was that lovely off-road trek.
Well, I don't know about you, Andrew, but first time for me in Tassie four-wheel driving, and it's been certainly a surprise.
Likewise, yeah.
It almost feels like we're in a different country. The scenery is very different to anything I'm used to. The tracks are quite different, the rocks are different, the trees are different.
So mountainous, little rolling valleys wherever you go, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is, and those rocky escarpments up the top,
It's beautiful.
Pretty spectacular.
Yeah, no, I don't know why we've left it so long actually. It's a beautiful place, you should come down and visit.
Most definitely. A recommendation for everyone.
Unlike where we were all coming from at the moment, there's plenty of water around, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Lush and green at the moment, it's beautiful.
Certainly a decent rain recently, and it looks like those dams and lakes are starting to fill up again, which is
I
great.
saw a few signs there showing, kangaroos hitting cars, and I'm sure that's the case, probably about this hour, dusk and then dawn, but the jungle is so dense. It was like a hedge that we've just driven from Queenstown to here. It's just so thick, and it's amazing. Again, it just shows the growth, the rainfall, and how beautiful and crisp the climate is down here in Tassie.
It certainly does, mate. What a spectacular place. Looking forward to some more.
There's some really interesting stuff. I haven't been down to see Mt Huxley track before, so that was interesting. Quite challenging in parts, quite rocky.
Quite interesting, yes.
Very interesting. So the weather really put it on for us today, which was fantastic.
Oh, awesome stuff, isn't it? Yeah, this Tasmanian weather this time of year is fantastic.
Yeah, nice and crisp, not too hot.
Blue skies, clean air, lovely. It wasn't hard going, really, was it?
Not really, not to start with. So I guess the whole track was about 2 hours. 2 hours in,
couple of hours,
hour and a half back, yeah, something like that.
And you don't nearly need a super modified vehicle. It's pretty clean and pretty easy. No one got any damage or anything.
Absolutely, right tyres, a little bit of lift, and careful driving.
A bit of tyre pressure modification. That was good. I'd like to see it again. Actually, there's a lot of tracks we didn't take. I would have got lost in there, to be perfectly honest, because we sort of zigged left and right, and there was all these other little interconnecting tracks.
Yeah, there was lots of little tracks off to the side. It would be great to explore for a whole day.
A day would be really cool.
Yeah,
we'll go and check it out. I hope to go and see Tassie, this part of it again.
How did you find those steep hills that we went through this afternoon?
Excellent. I thought that the car handled extremely well, and the shaly, rocky stuff was really quite easy and very enjoyable drive. Sensational view once we got to the top of the hills.
Absolutely.
The rocky outcrops and the Great Lakes that we drove through earlier in the morning were just beautiful. Well worth the drive and a very pleasurable afternoon. Yeah. What did you think?
I just was surprised to see water there, because I was thinking this obviously must get very wet here in winter. The puddles that we had there today, and I thought, don't know whether I'd like to do those tracks in winter.
Yeah, I think they'd be a lot more inaccessible come winter time, but compared to having all those roads open to you as a four-wheel driver, a lot of the tracks in Victoria.
I think it was rated actually pretty hard, but in the end, I think due to the conditions, it was not a bad trip. We had good traction, a lot of up and downs, some beautiful scenery down here. You're really looking over some most magnificent country. Probably let your mind wander to even think, is there a Tassie tiger out there? Because it's just so remote. But anyway, nobody got into any mischief.
Back it up, give it a little bump.
We've got hills, we've got tracks, we've got scenery, we've got views, we've got rivers destroyed by copper. We've got this vast variety of scenery. It is really, really terrific. The four-wheel driving is relatively easy, so you don't need to have anything super special to come and see it. A lot of the guys just got Hiluxes and Prados having no dramas at all, no damage, no scratches. Actually, I correct myself, a little bit of bush pinstriping, but nothing to be concerned about. We've had a great afternoon, and we're now heading off to get some food, one of my favourite activities.
I'll be travelling with the Your4x4 crew for the next 3 days. So Saturday we'll head out to the beach, up Ocean Beach and out into Henty Dunes and have a look around the sand. Then Sunday we'll head off up through Ocean Beach. We'll cross the little Piper River if the tide will let us. Travel the Climbys track which goes from Trial Harbour to Granville Harbour, which is a good rocky coastline track with plenty of scenic stuff to see. Then head up the beaches into the Pieman Heads and camp there overnight on Sunday. So we've got some sunshine, should be a great trip, really looking forward to it.
Thanks, Simon. Our first entry this week is this tidy looking Prado, snapped on the way to O'Toole's campground in Victoria. The next photo was taken on Big Red during a recent Simpson Desert crossing. Here we have another well set up GU Patrol, equipped for almost any situation. This shot was taken on a family trip to Birdsville. This shot was taken during the Jeep's first off-road trip to the Zigzag Railway near Lithgow. Our last entry is this well set up dual cab 70 series. It's just waiting for the winch and chip before heading off for some serious touring.
If you've just seen your photo and you're the first to email Danny, you've won yourself the Projector ProCharge 8 amp battery charger. All photos go into the major prize draw for a DP chip power diesel upgrade and a Travel Buddy oven. Well viewers, what a fantastic first day we've had down here in Tasmania. Lovely scenic driving this morning and some challenging mild forward driving this afternoon. We camped in Strahan for a couple of nights, but tomorrow we've got a big one. We're heading for the Henty Dunes. Well, that's it from Simon Christie and Your4x4. Tune in next week for the Henty Dunes. Plenty of sand driving. I'll see you then.